Hi everybody, this is Barsha. I hope everybody is doing well. I wanted to do a video on how I disinfect my groceries during this pandemic. Let's keep in mind that experts suggest that you shouldn't go crazy cleaning all your groceries once you bring it home. And the likelihood of you getting coronavirus just from touching a grocery item is actually quite low. You are more likely to get coronavirus while you're in the grocery store if you don't wear a mask and if you don't properly socially distance as opposed to getting it just from holding this item. And the reason for that is because in order for me to get coronavirus just from touching this, someone would have to have sneezed on this or coughed on this or had the virus on their hand and touched this item. I would have had to touch this exact same item in the exact same location and then touch my eyes, nose, or mouth. So the likelihood of those three events happening in a short period of time is quite low. So don't go crazy over, washing everything that you bring home. But it is a personal preference. I personally want everything that comes into my home disinfected so I don't have to worry about anything. And I also have three little kids that touch everything and then touch their mouths. So, number one, you need one person in your house that's a designated person to go do the groceries. Ideally, if you're an essential worker and you're already exposed out there, you would be the one doing the groceries and then coming home with it. In my household, that doesn't work for me. My husband is the one that he gears up and he goes and does the groceries. Number two, you need a designated person in your house that's going to disinfect. Number three, you need a designated area that you're going to use to disinfect all your groceries. Ideally, if you own a home, I would either use a section of your front yard or your backyard that your kids are not running around to and use that as your dirty area, right? To disinfect everything before you bring it home. Unfortunately, many of us in New York City, we live in apartment buildings and condos, and we don't have that option. So I weighed out the option of do I disinfect it in my hallway where it may be congested and people are going in and out, or do I disinfect it the second I bring it home? And I felt that it was safer for me to disinfect everything the second we came home. So my husband comes home, he leaves it in the hallway in our house. He goes and washes his hands right away. I wear a mask. I go into the hallway and I have my disinfectant spray. This is nothing special. There's no bleach in this. Do not mix bleach with anything. This is 1/3 soap, 1/3 water, and 1/3 rubbing alcohol, and I just mix that. And that's what I use to clean everything in my home, including my groceries. So let me show you. Number one, we have a tuna can. So I make sure I spray everything. It's aluminum. It lasts on aluminum up to 2 to 8 hours. So you make sure you disinfect it, you wipe everything, you put it in your clean station, okay? This Tabasco sauce, this is glass. It lasts on glass up to 4 to 5 days. So you make sure you disinfect it properly and you put it in your clean area. This is popcorn. It's a cardboard box. So I make sure I disinfect everything and then I put it in my clean area, right? Bread. So one piece of advice, if you have a big house, if you have big pantry space, anything that you can remove the outer covering, like bread, cookies, cereal, I would remove it and put it in a container and keep it in your pantry. That is the safest option. However, many of us don't have that luxury to have space like that. So what I just do, I just clean everything and I just wipe it and I disinfect it and I put it in my clean area, okay? Next, milk. This is plastic. It lasts on plastic for up to 3 days. So make sure you disinfect everything, especially the top, the cap, and especially the handle. This is what someone else must have touched, and this is what you're gonna touch the most. And also, you're gonna clean the bottom of it. And you don't put it back in this dirty station. You clean the whole thing, including the bottom, and you put it in your clean area, okay? Next is produce. FDA regulations say that you should only wash it with cold water, possibly with a vegetable brush, and that is it. Definitely don't bleach this. Definitely don't put no disinfectant spray on this. And I know a lot of people soak it in vinegar and water. The reason that they said don't use soap and water to wash your produce is because they don't want people to soak it in soap and water and have it go inside. They don't want the residue of the soap to remain, and then people ingest it. That's going to cause other problems. So that was the most responsible thing for them to say. However, personally, against FDA regulations, I take very little soap, very little, like minimal, and I just rub it for like 30 seconds, and then I wash it until I feel like it's squeaky clean. Like that squeaky clean feeling you get, I keep washing it. And even after I feel that squeaky clean feeling, I keep washing it until I'm satisfied. And then I just dry it off and I put it in my fridge. So that's just something that I personally do. It's against FDA regulations, but that's what I feel comfortable with. Then I go back to my station. I make sure I disinfect my dirty station. I wipe everything off. And then I go and I wash my hands with soap and water, and I come back. And mind you, after every 2 to 3 items that I disinfect, I wash this with soap and water. So I go and I wash this with soap and water after every 2 to 3 items, so that I have a clean rag. So now after I wash my hands, I spray this and I clean the spray bottle itself. My hands are clean, right? But this may not be clean. So I clean everything. I clean the top of the faucets. I sprayed the top of the faucets, the top of the soap dispenser, anything and everything that I may have touched while I went to wash my hands. After all of this is done, I wash this with soap and water, and I put this in my clean area, and then I go back, wash my hands with soap and water, and now I'm ready to just be with my family. So these are the steps that I personally have taken for the past 2 months to disinfect my groceries and to keep my family safe. I hope this video has helped. If you have any tips and tricks that I can use, please let me know. Everyone, please be safe. Until next time. Thank you. Take care.